breathe in, hold it, breathe out. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share a little bit about how I deal with my stressful days in business, which, believe it or not, do happen. I just got off a call that was like so rude. I'm like shaking. And I know that I don't always share like so much of the negative because of course I want to be positive and uplifting and give you guys things to look forward to in your journey as an entrepreneur or freelancer, but these things definitely happen. And I think that it's important to be real about that stuff because one, it's important to know that it's not all sunshine and roses once you quit your day job. Of course, I'm so happy with my decision to go freelance, but there were definitely things that come up that are stressful. And two, I think it's also important to talk about this stuff so that we know how to deal with these things. I don't know about you, but technology is one of those things that when it goes wrong, it automatically puts my day in a bad place. I create so much content as a part of my business, and so I get that dreaded out of storage space message. I will sometimes have a hard time exporting because my computer's going really slow. Or what's been happening to me a lot lately is I've been late to Zoom meetings, which I cannot stand being late. I think it's really rude. And I've been late to Zoom meetings just because my computer is taking a long time to boot up Zoom. So one of the ways that we can actually prevent that is by doing proper checks on our computers, getting equipment that, works well and that is speedy and that's efficient. And today's video is actually sponsored by Trend Micro's Cleaner One Pro, which is an incredible program and tool that you can use to make sure that your computer is in optimal health. So Trend Micro's Cleaner One Pro is a computer cleaning app that helps you optimize disk space by removing files that you just don't need anymore. It helps you figure out what's taking up space on your computer in the first place and then gets rid of them in one click. It can also monitor your CPU usage, your network usage, and your memory usage, which is all super important if you are a content creator like I am, or even if you're just a social media manager, which in turn you're probably creating a lot of content. And even if you're not creating a lot of content, you're probably handling a lot of content, saving a bunch of files, uploading a bunch of things, having to be quick to get on Zoom meetings and all of that good stuff. So I really love this app because it's just super easy to use. You just click a couple of times, it does its magic in the background, and then it will let you know what it recommends you do with any like duplicate files or overly large files or anything like that. So I just put it on my calendar once a month. I have sort of a CEO day once a month. And during this day is when I do all of my tech checkups and make sure that I run Cleaner One Pro, that I delete things that I'm not using anymore and all that good stuff. So that is definitely my tip number one for avoiding stressful days as a business owner. But another way to avoid stressful days as a business owner is to set business hours for yourself. It kind of goes along with what I was saying right there about having CEO days for yourself. Similarly, I have a regular schedule that I do try to follow. Now, if you watch my Week in My Business series, my vlogs that I do, yes, every day does look a little bit different, but for the most part, I try to make sure first of the month is a CEO day. That means that I'm doing all those things that I just mentioned, for example. But then throughout the week, I also have a pattern, meaning I don't work past a certain hour. Now again, sometimes it happens, sometimes like once in a lifetime opportunities come up, or I work with a client who's somewhere in a different country and I have to accommodate. But for the most part, I like to keep my business hours so that I'm shutting down my computer at 6 or 7 p.m. every single day and I am doing something fun. I put these business hours, one, in my welcome kit that I send out to my clients so that they know if they send me a message at 8 p.m., I'm probably not going to be replying. That's one of the things that I see stresses people out a whole lot. It can be avoided. It can be prevented by being open and honest about when you're available. And then I also put that into my scheduling forms. So I use Honeybook to get people to schedule calls with me. I also use Acuity scheduling on my other website. And you can set business hours in there. Don't feel obligated to take a call with somebody at 9 p.m. if you don't want to. When somebody comes to me, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on email, whatever it is, and ask me if they can meet with me, I'll send them that scheduling link. So it automatically forces them to choose from my business hours. They're not saying, hey, can we get on a call right now? And if they do, it's important that you hold true to that too. That actually just happened to me recently. Somebody who I really wanted to work with, and I still might, they asked me if I could meet on a weekend. And even though I technically could have, the problem with this is it really sets a bad precedent. It sets the expectation that you're always going to make exceptions and that you're always going to be available and that you're going to do whatever they want every single time. And don't get me wrong, there is a case for customer service. I do think that we need to make ourselves available at certain times. And of course, if there's any emergencies and things like that. But it also is important to kind of set that expectation at the outset because your clients should be respecting your time just like you're respecting their time. Okay, so let's say that your tech is working great and you also have your schedule down for the week, for the month, and you're still feeling stressed out and overwhelmed. Let's talk about some things that you can do while you're in that feeling of stress and overwhelm to get yourself out of it. I have kind of a trifecta that I like to go through depending on my time and depending on the level of stress that I'm feeling, and that is breathe, it's walk, and it's nap. Those are my 3 things that I like to try. So number 1, if I am in a moment where, let's say I'm on a call and I'm stressed out, somebody asks me a question that I don't know how to answer, or they say something kind of rude to me or whatever, that's when I'll do a breathing exercise. I'll put myself on mute. If I'm on camera, I'll turn my camera off and I'll just take a couple of seconds to breathe in, hold it, breathe out. Do that 3-4 times, and I'm telling you, it really works. I know it sounds cheesy, but it really works. If I have a little bit longer of time, maybe I just got off a really stressful call, or I'm trying to figure out, a proposal or something like that, and I don't know what to write to them or whatever, I will go for a walk. Go outside, stretch your legs, breathe in the fresh air, get some sun on your skin, and just be away from your devices. We're always surrounded by like a million devices, and that can just feel really smothering, and it really puts a lot of pressure on us, whether we realize it or not. So go on a walk. If you can go without your phone, go without your phone. I don't go without my phone just for safety reasons, but I put it in my pocket. I'm not looking at it or scrolling on it. Go on a walk. I'm telling you, it will help you out. And then nap. I know this one probably sounds funny. I don't know, but I really love napping. I've always found a lot of like therapy in napping when I'm stressed. I've always just taken a quick nap, like 20-minute nap. So again, if you have the time to, and if you can talk yourself down and be not stressed enough to sleep, take a little nap, because you're gonna wake up with a fresh set of eyes. If it's not a nap, maybe it's just go to bed, maybe sleep on it, Because again, when we're staring at the same thing over and over again, we're staring at that same rude response, we're staring at that same problem that we don't know how to solve, we're staring at that busy booked calendar all day long. Yeah, of course you're gonna feel stressed out, but go to sleep, you're gonna wake up with a new fresh set of eyes, and you might feel better about it. Now, the second thing that I recommend is reaching out to people. If, let's say, I'm stressed because I don't know how to do something, I'm stressed because I have had a Facebook ad campaign kind of bomb, didn't go very well, and I'm not the expert at Facebook ads, or maybe I am, but I still can reach out to other experts or other people who I trust. And a lot of times it's not even about the technical skill. That's what I learned from coaching so much, is a lot of times people get stressed out and they think it's about the technical thing, right? They think it's about, I need to know more about Facebook ads. But what it really is you need to learn how to communicate with your clients better and set expectations with them, or explain to them that you are not the pro at Facebook ads and they need to hire someone else, or give you more resources so you can hire someone else. Like, that's usually what the actual problem is. It's usually not the Facebook ad, if you know what I mean. So find people who you trust. This can be done in a lot of ways. And there's formal mentorship where you pay somebody to work with you every month or every week or whatever it is. And then there's informal mentorship as well. And I think both are very valuable, and I utilize both, right? So informal mentorship, find a Facebook group that works. Find a group of freelancers in your community, or in your digital community on social media that you can do meetings with, or that you guys can just kind of have each other's back with. I think those things are super valuable. And then of course, formal mentorship, you can find membership groups to join, you can hire a coach. All of those things have honestly up-leveled my business so much, and just given me peace of mind, Now, tip number 3, one of the most powerful things that I know how to say is, I don't know. And I know that's like maybe not very conventional advice, and it can really be scary, but just saying, I don't know, with a caveat, right? You don't want to have a client say, hey, how do we make this campaign perform better? And you just say, I don't know, bye, right? That's not professional. But if you say, you know what, I'm not really sure right now, let me research that and get back to you. I'll send you an email tomorrow morning with some thoughts. I just need to sit down with this. That is so powerful, and it buys you time. And I find that I get really stressed when, when I am put on the spot. If someone's like, hey, save my business, and I'm like, that's overwhelming no matter how skilled you are. I've been doing this for a long time. And if somebody just says, save my business right now, what do you think? I don't do well, right? I need to really sit down with that. I need to do some research, maybe talk to some other people in the industry, maybe do some competitor research, do some analysis on their insights and their analytics. There's so much that goes into that. So be confident saying, let me take a couple minutes with this. Let me take a day with this and get back to you. Another tip that I have is to talk yourself down. So I have a couple of phrases that I will repeat to myself when something like this happens. And it's funny, I actually took this from corporate when I worked at my last corporate job. One of my bosses, it was kind of when I first started there. And I think I was going on vacation, and, she was my manager, so she knew how to do this stuff, but she didn't know, the ins and outs of what I was doing every day. And so I told her, it was my first vacation at that company. I was like, if anything comes up, just send me a text. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be just staycationing. Just text me. And she's like, it's fine. We're not doing brain surgery here. Chances are nothing is going to happen that is a true emergency. And I tell my clients this all the time too. Of course, be there for your clients if a true emergency happens, meaning if somebody is getting doxxed, an employee is getting called out on social media or something, if you're losing access to a social media account, or, if somebody's getting threatened, real true emergencies like that. But those things are so far and few between, right? Usually an emergency is our campaign isn't performing very well, or our cost per click went up by a couple cents, or, not enough people are liking this post. And don't get me wrong, those are things that need attention. You do want to fix those things, but very seldomly is there a true emergency. Yes, what we do is important, but we are not performing brain surgery. We're just not, okay? Most jobs, besides brain surgeons, are not, okay? So we're not saving lives here. And so I think whenever I get really stressed about something, I just remind myself that. Another thing that I like to remind myself is that the world is full of opportunities. And if I am so stressed that I'm to the point of tears or rapid heart rate, heavy breathing, maybe this opportunity just isn't the one for me, and I need to just complete my contract and move on and find an opportunity that fits better. Every time, it sounds so cheesy, but every time I've had to walk away from a contract, or I've had to, do something different, switch something up, I've always had something better come along. It is that, like I said, that cheesy saying of when one door closes, another door opens. The last thing that I want to share with you today is another powerful phrase or word, really, and that's no. We got to set boundaries. I think I have a podcast episode all about boundaries, so I'll link that one down below. I go into a lot of this in more depth, but a lot of times people get stressed out because they're stretched too thin, because they're saying yes to every project. I'm talking to myself. This video is for myself too. I say yes because I want to help everybody, and because sometimes I do still operate out of scarcity mindset. I've done a lot of work on that, but I still do deal with that as well sometimes. And I feel like I just need to help everybody. And that's not good. I need to learn how to say no. I need to be really only working with my ideal clients at this point, and you do too. We all need to be better about saying no to those extra tasks that stress us out. We experience scope creep, and we find out, oh my gosh, this project is way more work than I had originally agreed on, and now I'm stressed out. So we need to start saying no and setting those boundaries. Say no even to things that seem fun, even if it's a friend that wants to hang out, or some kind of personal obligation, and you're just tired, you're just stressed, you had a really rough day, and that might feel like more work to you. Say, I'm really working on myself tonight. Like, can we meet up next week instead? Or can we do a Zoom date or something where we can just do face masks and PJs or whatever? Like, we need to be clear about what makes us happy and what we really need. We can't only serve other people all the time. Okay, so I hope that I gave you something that helps you out when it comes to stressful days for yourself. Again, keeping that technology moving and grooving is very, very important, especially if you're creating a lot of content. So definitely make sure to check out today's video sponsor, 10 Micros Cleaner One Pro. It is an amazing app that's gonna help you avoid all of those, computer out of storage errors and avoid having a bunch of duplicate files that you're not using, and just really help your computer move at the speed that your business needs it to. So definitely check it out. I'll have it linked down below, and leave me a comment. Let me know how you deal with stress in your business, and if any of these tips helped you, I would love to know that as well. Subscribe, thumbs up, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.